cannot be said for just about any other professional football club in France ever since the collapse of the lucrative broadcast deal with the Chinese-backed Spanish multimedia group MediaPro. While Serie A rejected an offer from MediaPro for their broadcasting rights, favouring a lower bid due to fears surrounding the company's viability, Ligue 1 seemingly had no such reservations. A massive €3.3 billion package was agreed, in exchange for 80% of Ligue 1's broadcasting rights over the next 4 years, beginning in June 2020, which made it the second most lucrative broadcast deal in world football, behind only the Premier Leagues. MediaPro partnered with the TF1 Group to create a new channel called Téléfoot, charging €25 a month for their subscription, but they only managed to gain 600,000 subscribers, which was just 15% of the amount required just to break even. So in December 2020, only 6 months into the deal, MediaPro, and along with them Ligue 1's lucrative broadcast deal, collapsed. It is difficult to overstate the financial implications that had on Ligue 1 and Ligue 2 clubs, but French journalists commented at the time that, overnight, following the collapse, PSG became the only team in the top 2 divisions of French football that didn't immediately go up for sale. The Amazon deal that replaced it was worth just €275 million a year, leaving Ligue 1 with a €550 million financial black hole. If French football was looking for some direction during these rocky times, they weren't about to find it at the French Football Federation. Financial shenanigans, alleged corruption, and political skullduggery are one thing, but the FFF is accused of having engendered a culture even more toxic than that. The federation that once pioneered world football is now viewed as pretty much the perfect encapsulation of all that is wrong with the French game. Less than 2 months ago, FFF President Noël Le Graët was finally forced to resign. Le Graët has been one of the most prominent figures in French football for more than 3 decades, having served as Guingamp president from 1971 to 1992, and again from 2002 to 2011, Ligue 1 president from 1991 to 2000, vice president of the FFF from 2005 to 2011, and president of the federation since 2011. Le Graët's predecessor, Jean-Pierre Ascalettes, was forced to step down following France's scandalous and calamitous 2010 World Cup campaign. Having finished as runners-up at the 2006 World Cup, only losing to Italy on penalties after Zinedine Zidane was sent off in his last ever game in the final, France had high hopes heading to South Africa. Even France's qualification campaign was controversial though, requiring a Thierry Henry handball for them to get beyond the Republic of Ireland in that playoff, and before the tournament had even begun, the FFF took the unusual decision to announce that head coach Raymond Domenech would be leaving his position at the end of the tournament. A total lack of authority and mass infighting ensued. Nicolas Anelka, never one to shy from controversy, got into a profanity-laden argument with Domenech whilst France were losing to Mexico, having drawn their opening game against Uruguay, and when he was sent home, the rest of the squad boycotted training. France were dumped out of the World Cup, finishing bottom of their group with just a solitary point to their name, and the entire squad was suspended for their next game against Norway. Le Graët was elected with 54.39% of the vote, but he hardly represented a clean break from the previous administration, given his more than 2 decades in French football administration himself, and 6 years as vice president to his predecessor. A businessman and politician, Le Graët's food business is said to have a turnover in the hundreds of millions of euros, and he served as the mayor of Guingamp from 1995 to 2008, under the banner of the Socialist Party, which, contrary to its name, isn't very socialist, but was for decades the largest political party of the French left, before splintering and ultimately collapsing at the 2017 French presidential elections. Le Graët is accused of having allowed a culture of sexual harassment and bullying to develop within the FFF, in addition to a series of allegations having made against him personally. Among those to have made accusations against Le Graët is Sonia Sued, a female football lady agent, who claims that Le Gret made a number of unwanted sexual advances towards her between 2013 and 2017. Le Gret, it is worth noting, is 81 years old. Meanwhile, Suen is 37, and she was therefore only 28 in 2013, whilst Le Gret was already in his 70s. The allegations against Le Gret could hardly be described as new, but he has always managed to brush them aside until the beginning of this year, when French magazine So Foot published a damning investigation outlining a raft of institutional failings at the FFF, along with several inappropriate texts that Le Gret had allegedly sent to female members of staff. One of the messages read, "You're quite pulpy, I would definitely put you in my bed," whilst another directed a woman to, "Come to my place for dinner tonight." The FFF denied the allegations and stated that they would be taking legal action against So Foot for defamation. Meanwhile, Le Gret claimed that not only had he not sent the messages, he didn't even know how to send a text. Far be it from me to suggest that such a reputable character might not be telling the whole truth, and just in case his lawyers might be watching, I can assure you that that is definitely not what I'm saying, but that does have the faint wit of overdoing it on the denial front. It's a bit like being accused of shoplifting and just claiming that you haven't got any hands. At the same time that all of this is going on, it is worth noting, Bernard Laporte, the president of the French Rugby Federation and the former head coach of the France national rugby team, was also facing serious allegations, and in January 2023, he was forced to step down a month after he was found guilty of corruption, fined €75,000, and given a suspended 2-year prison sentence. Laporte still denies the allegations of corruption and is appealing, but it is pretty remarkable that the federations governing France's two most popular professional sports have been simultaneously plunged into crisis. Like Laporte, Le Gret has been forced to resign while still pleading his innocence. In the end, it wasn't the So Foot publication that got him, nor was it even his comments that he doesn't give a damn about Zinedine Zidane after handing his close ally Didier Deschamps a new 2-year contract extension, that was met with harsh criticism from the French public, including Kylian Mbappé, and forced an apology. When will administrators and politicians learn that they are unlikely to win popularity contests against football legends? No, it was actually an audit carried out by the French government into the FFF, which highlighted Le Gret's inappropriate behaviour towards women and ruled that he failed to hold the necessary legitimacy to retain his job. It still took Le Gret 13 days to accept that the gig was up, aged 81, but fear not, despite that audit, which many have criticised for not going far enough, the octogenarian has retained his seat on the FIFA Council, which comes with a salary of €250,000 a year, and he will keep his role in FIFA's offices in Paris. Hopefully no women work there. Sexual misconduct, or allegations thereof, are an all too common theme of French football. In April 2010, it was reported that 5 high-profile French footballers, Franck Ribéry, Sidney Govou, Hatem Ben Arfa and Karim Benzema, were all being investigated for their roles as clients in a prostitution ring operated inside of a Paris nightclub, with some of the women believed to be underage. Benzema and Ribéry asked for the cases against them to be dropped, claiming that they didn't know the 16-year-old girl involved, identified as Zahia Daher, was only 16 years old. The age of consent in France is 15, but prostitution was legal at the time, only if the worker was over the age of 18. The case went to trial, but the judge dropped the charges against both players due to a lack of evidence that they were aware of the fact that Daher was underage. 5 years later, Benzema was arrested by police for his alleged role in blackmailing international teammate Mathieu Valbuena over the alleged recording of a sex tape on a mobile phone. Benzema was subsequently suspended from the national team by the FFF. It took 6 years for the case to finally go to trial in November 2021, where Benzema was found guilty of trying to blackmail Valbuena with a sex tape, and the judge gave Benzema a 1-year suspended sentence, fined him €75,000, and ordered him to pay Valbuena €150,000 in damages, plus €80,000 in legal fees. Benzema subsequently returned to the France squad in May 2021, against the wishes, according to some reports, of Didier Deschamps, ahead of a disappointing Euro 2020 campaign. Even more serious are the allegations of rampant child sex abuse in academy and youth team football in France, which has been reported extensively by French sports journalist Romain Molina and published by Josimar Football. According to Molina, there are several senior figures in both men's and women's football who have had sexual relations with underage players and are still working with young people in the sport. Child exploitation, both sexual and otherwise, has long been rife in football, not just in France and in France's former and current colonies, as alleged by Molina, but all over the world. The power dynamic between an aspiring athlete and those who hold the key to any future success that they might have in the sport, whether that be coaches, administrators or agents, is such that it creates a breeding ground for some of the most appalling crimes imaginable. We have seen this in the United Kingdom, where child sex abuse revelations dating back almost 5 decades only came to light in mid-2016, before being seemingly rather quickly forgotten about as the next round of fixtures came up. It would be extremely naive to believe that such abuses have been consigned to the history books in the United Kingdom, let alone in France, where a toxic culture normalising and indeed perpetuating sexual misconduct has not just been widely reported, but confirmed by a government audit. From the reprehensible to the downright bizarre come the scandals involving Paul Pogba and Kira Hamraoui over the last couple of years. In August 2022, it was reported that Pogba had been demanded to hand over millions of euros to avoid the dissemination of videos allegedly compromising him. A month later, Pogba's own brother, Matthias, was charged and detained for his role in the alleged extortion plot after Pogba filed a complaint with the Turin prosecutor's office that he was the target of a €13 million blackmail plot. Hamraoui, meanwhile, who plays for France's women's team and for PSG, was assaulted in the street in November 2021 after 2 masked men dragged her from a club-issued car and beat her with iron bars. The masked men were reported to have asked Hamraoui whether she liked sleeping with married men whilst the assault was being carried out. It later transpired that former Barcelona fullback and France international Eric Abidal had been having an affair with Hamraoui during her time at Barcelona. Far stranger still, Hamraoui's club and international teammate, Aminata Diallo, who had been driving the club-issued car that Hamraoui was dragged from on the night of her assault, was arrested on suspicion of having arranged the attack. Diallo was released after 36 hours, but she was re-arrested almost a year later on charges of serious bodily harm. She denies any wrongdoing. The manager of France's women's national team during this time, Corinne Diacre, who was also the first woman to coach a professional men's team in French football, was herself implicated in so many scandals that they could comprise an entire video all of their own before her contract was finally terminated last month, after several of the team's star players refused to represent France again until she was gone. Le Gret had continued to back Diacre despite all of the controversies, hence the timing of her eventual dismissal after he had also been forced out. On top of all that, French football has been mired by a rise in hooliganism and fan violence, which came to a head with a series of incidents in 2021, including Dimitri Payet being struck by a bottle thrown by Lyon fans, Marseille supporters storming their own club's training ground, smashing windows and stealing Andre Villas-Boas' briefcase, games having to be postponed or played behind closed doors, and some clubs even being hit with points deductions. Factor in more minor crises, like Kylian Mbappe's refusal to appear in any of the France national team's advertising, owing to a dispute with the FFF over his image rights, and perhaps it is little wonder that France is at great risk of being dislodged as a top 5 league in UEFA's coefficients by the Netherlands, and a pretty significant shock that they were able to reach a second successive World Cup final just a few months ago. Of course, that is because France have lots of immensely talented football players, arguably more than any other national team on earth, and that is the juxtaposition of French football. Ingenious and relentless, but also grubby, nefarious, and in some cases
Yo, Damien. Yo,
And hello from this 62,000 capacity stadium, King Abdullah Sports City in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. My name is Derek Ray, and joining me for commentary is Stuart Robson. And without doubt, a match with the potential to bring genuine excitement. Stuart, what are you expecting?
Yes, thanks as always, Derek. We've got two good teams here, so I'm anticipating a really good game. The atmosphere is electric inside the stadium before kick-off, and hopefully we're not disappointed.
Body in the way. Options in the middle. And a good challenge to bring that attack to an end. Well, here is the lineup for the hosts today. Iker Casillas begins in goal. Lothar Matthäus plays with Luka Modric in central midfield. And up front is the vastly experienced Edin Dzeko. Well, no stopping him. And credit is due for that good piece of defending. And the advantage accrues to the attacking side. Good pressure high up the pitch. Must take the lead here. Oh, it's gone in, would you believe? And that is going to be classified as an own goal.
Well, here it is again, and he's a bit unfortunate, you have to say. But it will count as an own goal against him, I'm afraid.
1-0 then. Very quick thinking there. Phil Foden. Good movement. Well, that is how to nullify the opposition. Pellegrini. Terrific block. And he's lost custody of the ball here. Body in the way again. Well, the referee allowing advantage to accrue to them. Well, they get the ball once more. Plenty of support here. Real chance. Oh, dealt with by the goalkeeper. Good officiating, waiting for the play to stop and now going back to caution him. He's driven in the corner. Well, the danger is still there. And problem solved for now. Dzeko. In possession, Fekir. Not a great pass. Pellegrini. Good-looking sequence. Is it going to be? Oh, good save. Can someone get on the end of this? Well, it was caught nicely enough, but the fact of the matter is it wasn't on target. They couldn't maintain possession. Eder Militao. Might be able to get in behind the defence. Fekir. It's a perfect challenge. Pellegrini. Well, getting the ball forward. But quick thinking defensively. Vertonghen. Giacomo Raspadori. Nicely timed tackle. Couldn't keep the ball. And continues his run. It's Modric taking the infield route. Well, he couldn't worry the keeper with that effort. Tremendous ball played through. Oh, surely! And a goal to increase their advantage to 2 overall. That little bit of a cushion. Now it's all about keeping the concentration.
Well, as you can see, what an excellent back heel this is to set up the goal. And then the shot could not be hit any better. Struck with such venom. Great goal.
So the ball rolling again at 2-0. And he stopped them in their tracks. It certainly wasn't a clean tackle, and the referee has got to book him, I think. And the yellow card for that, Stuart.
And he's going to have to be careful now. That was a silly challenge.
Well, somehow the goalkeeper got to it. Playing it in, struggling to get it away. Alderweireld. Can he find the net? Well, able to close down the shot. Can he find the right pass? Will it be? Well, just narrowly wide of the post that time. Moise Keane. And the attempt just wide. So unfortunate.
This has been a top-class display today. Just look how many chances they've created. And if they want to, they could score a hatful of goals here.
Neymar. Theo Hernandez now. Fekir. Well, he's given us away. Fekir. Fekir! And the keeper more than equal to it.
Well, these fans can sense an opportunity here. They need to make the most of this corner.
Trying to pick out a teammate. Not the result from the set piece they were looking for. Foden. And so it is, the first half story has been written. And now they get... Away they go again. Second half is underway here. And a good challenge to bring that attack to an end. White. And Mateus has it. Not the pass he had in mind. Definitely look as though they want to make this move count. Well, he passed the power test. Shame about the accuracy. Alderweireld. Mandragora. Gives it a go. Virgil van Dijk with the block. Plenty of support here. And a relatively straightforward save for the keeper. Has the strength to hang on to it. But just like that, possession changes hands. Couldn't keep it. Moise Keane. And that is how to tackle inside your own penalty area. Racing forward, trying to catch them out. Modric. Dzeko. Well, no luck keeping possession. Well, we have 30 minutes to go. And taking it away. Oh, no let up, plenty of pressure. Dzeko. Foden. Well, the supporters think it's on. Body in the way. Well read to ease the pressure. Eder Militao. And the challenge halts them in their tracks. And he has options available. Can he find the net? And gobbled up with ease by the keeper.
Well, there it is. The away side haven't had as much of the ball, but when they have won it back in midfield areas, their counter-attacking has been excellent. They'll be happy with the way the game's going at the moment.
Yes, a really effective performance all in all. Played towards the near post. Well, when it left the boot, I thought it might have a chance of fooling the keeper, but it didn't. And take it away. Is it going to be? And it goes! A 3-goal cushion, and you truly sense it's a matter of how many. Three goals without reply.
Con il numero 9, Giacomo Raspadori.
Foden. Now Dzeko. Well, that's how to keep the opposition at bay. He's got space. Moise Kean. Can he finish? And a fine stop. Let's see about the delivery. Struggling to get it away. Gives it a go. Well, not quite the result he was hoping for with that shot. Close, though. Oh, fine play, and maybe it'll set something up. He'll have a go here. Well, the shot more than decent. It had power, just couldn't find the target. Read it superbly to take back possession. Giacomo Raspadori. Didn't fool the keeper. And there's the delivery. Well, he read the flight of the ball brilliantly, but just couldn't quite keep it down. Narrowly over the bar. Can they convert? A goal! And I'll tell you what, on this sort of form, very few would lay a glove on them.
Well, here's the replay. He's got such quick feet, hasn't he? Just look how he goes past his marker to get his shot away. That's a really good goal.
It's a massive lead, and it's very hard to imagine them losing it now.
Well, these fans have started to make their way to the exits here. The game is surely beyond them now.
Well, we've entered the final 5 minutes. Opportunity! And he struck the post. Well, threat over for now. And intercepted there. Quite strong tackle. Throw in forthcoming. Nabil Fekir. Well, his control let him down badly, and it's going to be a goal kick. And so the referee blows for full time, and it goes down as a victory for the visitors.
Well, it was a very assured performance, wasn't it? I was particularly impressed with their play going forward.